us about the photo on the lower left.
That's mom and dad in the middle. Way in the back there's my brother Jerry and his wife Virginia, call her Ginny, and her daughter Leanne and Vicky, but mom and dad are in the middle. And they came out to California. It was the first time they ever came out there. Came by train.
Okay, tell us about the one on the top left.
Okay, that's my mom and dad, Dave and Josephine Skinnerdor. They come out to California to visit Jerry and I. It was sort of like a vacation. They never were out that far before.
Okay.
Okay, that's where we took them to the racetrack, horse racing at Caliente. On the left, that's Ginny, and then Dad and Ma and myself. And Jerry took the picture out in the parking lot. As you can see on the back, it says Caliente.
Okay, go ahead.
That picture there, I was lucky to get the picture. They threatened they were going to take the camera away because they didn't want anybody to see, I guess, what Win Place and show was. Anyway, Mom and Dad, they went and you could see the horses down below. And they could tell just by the way the horses were, their backs, their hindquarters, and they predicted which one would win in that. So Jerry took Dad down there to place a bet, and because Dad didn't know anything about how to do any betting, and here he won money, and he got it in his left hand as he was collecting it. I took the picture. It was really pretty exciting. I couldn't believe just that they could just look at the horse and they could tell you which one was the stronger one.
Okay, tell us about that one.
Oh, that one, we just got back after a long day at the races and that, and you can see my dad kind of celebrating a little bit there. That's Ma way on the left and Jerry in the middle. Jerry loved to play the guitar. He used to sing and play guitar, and Ginny used to join in on her spoons, and they made quite a pair when they sang together, and Dad was really happy.
Okay.
Okay, this picture is out in National City, California, right next to San Diego. I was home ported in San Diego, and my brother Jerry, he rented a house. The house is right behind me with the gate behind us, and I think that's Vicky skating in the front and her little buddy. But it was pretty nice that whenever I was off, I could just almost like go home. And it was like home away from home, and we had some pretty nice times there, real good times.
Okay.
Okay, this is a picture of my mom and dad, Dave and Josephine Skinnerdor, and my other brother, Clyde. We call him Bernard. It was just we were out on a picnic, and we just took a picture of that. So glad you get to see them, how they looked.
Okay.
Okay, that's my mom and dad, Dave and Josephine again. It's very rarely that they really got to read the newspaper. Back in those days, they could never really afford it. And when they did get it, there wasn't anything that they'd miss. And we used to use all of the newspaper back in those days. We didn't have indoor plumbing, so if you know what I mean. So that and Sears catalog.
Okay.
Okay, this picture of my brother and his wife, Dave. Well, actually, it's Dave Jr. We call him Jerry, and Virginia. Her nickname is Ginny, and then Dave and Josephine Skinnerdor. This is out in Long Beach when Jerry was stationed out there. Ma and Dad got to go out there to see him, see what it was all about. And that's Vicky, I think, again, Ginny's daughter, Jerry and Ginny's daughter. And that's about it. Just
Okay.
okay. This is the barn. It finally did collapse. This is where we did all our milking and haying, and all our cows we had. Every one of them had a name. I don't know if you can see in the back where all the trees were, the pasture. A lot of work was done in there. I mean, I wish you could have seen it the way it was before it collapsed, because it looks pretty small there, but it was a pretty big farm. Got all the cows in there one way or another, and that's where we did our milking every day. And it was pretty sad to see that when it collapsed. That's funny.
Okay.
This is Dave and Josephine Skenerdor again, my mother and dad. This is the first time they actually got to ride on a train, and they were just all excited. They just could not believe anything could go that fast and how nice it was, and they were really excited when they arrived in San Diego, California.
Okay.
Okay, this is a picture when Mom and Dad came out to, I think this is Long Beach, California. From left to right in the back is Jerry Skenerdor and Ginny and Mom and Dad and Leanne and Match and Vicky in the front. It's when they came out to see what Long Beach, what California looked like. They're just so excited whenever they got to go on a trip or anything. They just loved it. It's things that they never saw before that they were so impressed with.
Okay.
Okay, this is one of the sightseeing landmarks. Mom and Dad on the bottom there. I'm up on the top left with Match, just touring, just visiting, seeing what the landmark said. I can't read it from here, but they always found all this kind of things like this was pretty interesting. They're just plain happy to be able to see things like that. They just loved it when they came on. Everybody had a good time.
All right.
It's one of my birthdays. As far as birthdays are concerned, the only thing that ever really mattered to me was getting a birthday cake. Ma would always bake a birthday cake for every one of us, and that was better than any present. And they'd always light the candles, and we get to blow them out, and they'd sing "Happy Birthday." That was really you'd always remember your birthdays, and then especially when you look at the cake and see how hard Ma put in a lot of time to make the cake, and it just felt like we respected it more, and it meant a lot. So that was one of my birthdays. I couldn't tell you which one though.
Okay.
This is a picture of Father Christian. When I went to church school and went to church, he was the priest at that time. And you can see how old steps is going into the church. He was actually, I got to go to church school camp through him, and well, I guess he taught to everybody about if you wanted to be a priest or go into that field, I guess. But at that time, I just wasn't really that interested in it. I just went 1 year to church school there, and he was really a nice, one of the best priests I think we've ever had.
Okay.
Okay, this is a picture of my brother's family, his wife and children. On the right, we have Susan, and we have Leanne sitting down, and Matthew standing up. And over to the left is Vicky, and their mother, Ginny, sitting down. And then we got J.R. When J.R. was born, Jerry and I were overseas, and I came back earlier than him, and I was there when J.R. Was born. The hospital, which was at Balboa Hospital, when Ginny had her baby, it was a hospital that they believed that there's no help with you. You do it all natural. And she really had a hard, rough time. And I think it was almost when JR, he was named after my brother, I think it was almost like 8 months after he finally got to meet his son, because he was overseas in Vietnam at that time on the USS Black. And I remember that was out in California, so.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually this is Josephine's sister-in-law, my dad's sister. Her name was Leah. She'd come over, or Ma, and Dad would go over there, and whenever you seen them talking, they all spoke the Oneida language. I could never understand, and I never really wanted to go along anyway, so because I didn't know what they're saying, but. They were all, well, actually at the front of the house with Ma. I used to always have morning glories climbing up on her, and sunflowers, and remember the porch. It was a beautiful home. I mean, it was nothing fancy. It was just that where we lived, and everybody that came like from Milwaukee would always stop in, and door would always be open. Ma would always have something for everybody to eat. I remember Jimmy House and Maureen. They stopped quite often, and Nobby and Lester and a lot of our friends, relatives. But there were some beautiful people back then. In fact, I think her husband, Robert Cornelius, the VFW, was named after his, in his memory, I believe. So that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is a picture of my mom and dad and my foster sister, Kate Stevens. I have no idea what he's looking at or what he's doing. But this is at the house. I don't know if they're just getting ready to go to town or something. Either that or he just came home from going to Oneida, going to Schrader's. Anyway, that's just one. Kate was the only girl that was there. That's about it.
Okay.
Okay, this is in San Diego, California. Mom and Dad came out. They only came out, like, I think just that 1 year. And that was the first time they ever got away from ever really going on a trip, getting out of Wisconsin. That's myself on the right. I was in the Navy. And that's my little nephew, JR. He's not so little now. He's a big man. And that was back in '67, I guess. It just brings back some good memories that Mom and Dad, that we were able to get Mom and Dad to get to see part of, the other part of the, United States, or get away from Wisconsin, just because they didn't do many trips at all. The only time they did any trips actually is when Arnold was in Florida, and then when Jerry and I were in California, and then that was about it. So they really enjoyed themselves. They just had the best time being able to see all the things that they never thought they'd ever see. Okay?
Okay.